Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? If you could tell me in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Good afternoon, Edinson. Great to be here, Ziad. Thank you for joining me every week. Great. Okay, let's begin. So we've had a very animated bunch of questions that we've received in Menti. I'm going to sidestep most of those because I don't think they're productive questions. But I am going to address some of the core issues that are because I don't think they're productive questions. But I am going to address some of the core issues that are at the heart of those questions, right? So let's first talk about the process under which we're evaluating when to unlock tokens and why we're not unlocking tokens in this market. Maybe we start with the last question first. So why are we not unlocking tokens in this market? Well, we're looking at what's going on with other projects, right? What is the market doing with ICOs that are listing in this market? And we see that, 80, sometimes 90% of the value of a project is lost immediately after listing the token. And that's a major concern. It's a major concern for the people who have believed in our project and supported our project and supported us to get to where we are today. So I consider it to a certain degree irresponsible, especially for us. I think it would be irresponsible of us. I don't want to comment on other companies, right? But certainly I think it would be irresponsible of us to unlock tokens in this market, especially if it ends up hurting the people that believe in our project the most. And so therefore, we are waiting for the market to be more receptive to ICO token launches. And that doesn't mean that we're trying to time a bull market. My words should not be misunderstood. I don't know when the bull market's coming. I'm not trying to time when the bull market might come. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to ensure that there's a retention of value in the money that has been contributed to our project. And how we're doing that is, we're not trying to forecast the future or relying on anybody's opinion. We're collecting data. We're doing what any practical company, I think, would be doing, right? And that is collecting data about how the market is responding to token launches. And so from what we understand at this point in time, from the data that we are collecting, it's not a good time to list a token, right? I do think that stability will return to this market, right? I don't know what that sort of time frame is. I don't want to give you the expectation that it's going to occur on this date, because I can't tell the future, and neither can anybody else, right? So, if we get to this arbitrary date and the market, isn't in a good position, does that mean that we should unlock and hurt the people that are participants in our project? I don't think so. So, the decision about when to unlock is when the market responds positively to token launches, right? When is that going to happen? I don't know, right? But what I can tell you is that I do think, in my personal opinion, and I could be very wrong here, that there appears to be, in the main markets, the major markets, some semblance of stability. But I don't know if that's going to translate yet to ICOs. And we'll just have to wait for data to support that transition. So, let's move on to kind of what are we doing and where do we stand with the activities and what we're up to. So, some people feel that, there's no exchanges that are behind Sparkster. That is not true. We have 2 exchanges that are ready to list Sparkster whenever we're ready to unlock our tokens. two centralized exchanges, right? So it's not true that there are no exchanges that are willing to list us. However, the conditions have to be right. So if we chose to go forward with those, it would be, it wouldn't be good for the community, right? Now, why is it important that, someone asked me in our group a few moments ago, if we have a long-term mindset and we have a long-term view on our project, which if you've heard me say anything, if you've listened to any of our videos, you'll know that I absolutely have a long-term mindset about things. The team wouldn't have their tokens locked for 2 years if I didn't have a long-term mindset. So, if we have a long-term mindset about the project, then why does unlocking matter? Well, unlocking makes a big difference. If we unlock and everybody loses money and people abandon the project, it abandons momentum in our project, or it kills momentum in our project, or it kills hopes of momentum in the project. It kills our ability to attract new people into the project. It kills our ability to engage and entice more exchanges to list Sparkster. It isn't good for anybody, right? And that being said, I want to address the people that are fudding about Sparkster. If you're a token holder of any magnitude, I can't understand why you might be fudding about the project that you have participated in. When you FUD, you kill, if you're FUDing, and I don't know if any token holders are FUDing, and I should clarify that. I don't know if the people that are FUDing are token holders. I'd be shocked if they are, I have to say, because it's irrational. It's irrational to criticize and bring down a project in which you are a direct participant. You're impacting your own ability to succeed with a project that you've participated in. You kill your own potential by fudding about this project. It's completely irrational. And the other thing is that there is collision occurring amongst token holders. Guys, I want to say to you that the greatest threat that we have as a project, it's not any exchange, it's not a vote, right? It's not perception or hype, it's us. We are our own greatest threat. If we continue to fight with one another, if we continue to bring down the project, we kill, that means you, if you're participating in this activity, kill this project, right? When new people come and learn about Sparkster, I saw today that someone said that today's the first time that they've joined our group and all they hear is negativity, right? If we don't come together, guys, it's going to be us that tear this project apart, not the market, nothing else, right? So, we need to get a grip. We're here, if you have a weak hand, if you've contributed funds that you can't afford to lose and your emotions are taking over your decisions, I want you to understand that you're at the cause of your own demise, right? I encourage you to learn about the project that you've participated in, because that's what's in your best interests. Read the white paper, right? I think you'll actually enjoy reading it. It's been written for you. It's been written in a way that's non-technical, as much as we could make it non-technical, right? Watch the white paper videos. Understand what it is that we're trying to do. We're trying to transform a multi-billion-dollar industry, which is cloud computing. We're trying to transform another multi-billion-dollar industry, which is the software development industry, right? And bringing these two things together and making it possible for people to build software, for you as a non-developer, as a non-technical person, to be able to build and deploy and run software, to bring your ideas to reality, right? This is life-changing. What you're part of is a life-changing project. And so I encourage you to go learn about what you've participated in. If you're not, if you're not sure, or if you have any doubts about the future and the longevity, but calls to unlock tokens at this point in time will do nothing but to ensure, guarantee losses for you. And that's not because I don't believe in the project. right? That's because market conditions don't support token listings. That's nothing to do with me or my belief, right? That's just to do with the reality of the market we operate in today. So let's stick together. Let's band together because we need each other. If we're going to be successful, the guy that you're arguing with, the FUD that you're creating is only hurting us. We need to come together, right? And in reality, like I said, it seems completely irrational to me that a person who is a token holder of Sparkster would create FUD, right? It seems more logical that people that want to buy your tokens for cheap would be the ones that are creating the FUD, right? So let's move on. Binance has a community vote going on soon or coming up. I have decided to, not decided, what am I saying? I have ensured that we have, tried to register or participate in this vote. We've completed the necessary applications for Binance's vote, the community vote. Now, someone asked, if they don't list tokens that are not unlocked, then why bother applying? Well, I don't know if they've changed their rules, right? I don't want to be left out or have been accused or be accused of negligence, right? For not knowing whether or not they changed their rules or, and like I said, that idea of them not listing tokens that are not unlocked or not trading, that's speculative, right? That's what we've been told by people, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% of the truth. We don't know what their internal thinking is or what their internal process is. So great news. We have decided, not decided is the wrong word. We have we have ensured that we're completed the application process for Binance's vote, community vote. The next thing is, if you did not listen to the tech talk we had on Tuesday, we've announced an innovation fund. So Sparkster's vision is all about enabling people to bring their ideas to reality by building software without learning how to code and be able to run that software millions of transactions a second on Sparkster's blockchain or Sparkster's decentralized cloud. So what we're doing is we're announcing an innovation fund that will support, fund, and facilitate businesses to be built on top of Sparkster. So if you have an idea and you want us to support you in bringing that idea to life, you can write a proposal on what your idea is and submit it to hello@sparkster.me. On the 15th of September, we will take these proposals, we'll pick some, and we'll put them forward to the community to vote on. I've said many times, I think that the future of business and the future of business is people powered. I think that blockchain technology brings about or gives rise to the emergence of businesses where the majority of the revenues, the majority of the profits are earned by people. Like Uber, and the Uber driver is the person that earns the majority of the revenues. I think that decentralized businesses in the areas of solar energy generation and harnessing and distribution, or whether in all fields, in micro lending or credit card lending or whatever it might be, I think we're going to see the emergence of businesses that are people powered. And I want to make sure that Sparkster supports and encourages the development of these businesses by making it easier, quicker, and faster for businesses to establish themselves and to come to life. So that's the Innovation Fund. I also want to announce that the team this week, the tech team, in fact, I'm in the room with them right now, have achieved a major breakthrough in our technology this week. And we're going to be announcing that releasing an article about that on Monday. So I encourage you all to look forward to that article. You know, it's a big deal, right? From a technical perspective, it's a big deal. So we will be announcing that on Monday. Another thing to be said that we have an exchange that will be reviewing our application on Monday. This exchange, you know, if they look in our Telegram group, we've got to make sure that they're seeing a unified community, right? Because, you know, guys, you guys want major exchanges to list Sparkster. There's a specific major exchange that you all want to list Sparkster. But if they look at all of this infighting that we have, right? How do you think that that helps our chances? All of this stuff that's going on right now is in nobody's interests. It doesn't help anybody except the people that want to hurt our project. So if you're a token holder, I encourage you to support me and help me to put an end to this. Because if we don't, it's going to hurt us, right? Let's put an end to this collectively. I can't do this myself. I need your support, right? We need to stick together, right? So that being said, I'll take questions here in the Telegram, in the YouTube chat. Anything I can answer. Ziad is right. We never said that we would unlock 2 weeks after the ICO. We said that we would distribute 2 weeks after the ICO, and we met that commitment early, in fact. Why am I not talking about the bounty? Okay, so the bounty program, we haven't called the bounty program to an end yet because we haven't unlocked the tokens yet. And it's potentially supporting us to create awareness outside of our group, right? So we certainly don't want to put an end to that yet. However, I will look at the data to see if it does make sense to put an end to the bounty program, and I'll get back to you. That's all I can say. You know, at the end of the day, you know, the decisions that I have to make, you know, they're not just solely based on my own opinion or the opinion of somebody else. We have to make decisions that are based on data that we're collecting and reviewing. Is it possible to use APIs from exchanges to build trading tools with Sparkster? I think it is. I think you can use Sparkster's technology to trade automatically using those APIs by creating a rules-based, a rules-based methodology in which, you know, certain rules cause you to enter and certain rules cause you to exit. Yes, very good question. Thank you. What do I think can be done in order for the ETF proposal to meet SEC requirements of preventing fraud and manipulation with crypto? You know, it's a great question. I've been actually thinking about this myself. I think it's a big challenge, actually. I read an article, and I don't know if this is true. You know, you guys probably know more than I do about this, but I read an article that, you know, a lot of Tether were minted, and those Tether were used to purchase, potentially manipulate the price of Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true or not. But if it is, you know, if there's any semblance of truth to this, I think the industry would benefit by abandoning Tether. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. Any partnership news? We are in the process of we're working on partnerships all the time. So we're in discussion with many companies about partnerships. It's a difficult time to be announcing partnerships. So did we achieve the hard cap? Well, strictly speaking, yes, we did. Every cap that we set at the time of the sale was absolutely met. I want to speak more about this actually. I'm not sure how many people know this, but during the pre-sale, we received almost $1 billion in allocation requests, right? Almost $1 billion in allocation requests. And we made the decision at that point in time to take community funds and not take funds from VCs. We limited the size of any contribution to 35 ETH during the pre-sale. And you will see, actually, if you look at the list of token holders, that there aren't token holders the largest token holder has 0.15% of our tokens. We are a community project. You'll see one that has 7%. That's a pool, and that pool is a special set of investors, strategic investors. But there, when that gets distributed, there isn't anybody that has more than 0.15% of Sparkster's tokens. And so, what this really means, guys, is that our success and what happens to our project is a function of what happens with our community. We have to stick together, guys, if we're going to be successful. And we can all be successful together if we're able to stick together. Our greatest threat is ourselves, right? We need to come together, guys, right? What are the plans for the testnet? Hey, Nikita. The plans for a lot of these things are put on hold because it's not a good time to be announcing these things. The announcement about Utrust. Utrust is a big partnership. It wasn't carried anywhere. In ordinary times, in good times, this would have done really well, right? It would have carried because Utrust is in my opinion, a big deal. They're partnering with us, joining our ecosystem, and providing the ability for you to build applications that integrate and interact with crypto in a safe way. So some of these things are being put on hold because the market conditions, are not going to carry the news. And so what are we doing in the meantime? We're focusing on technology, right? We're putting out weekly updates on what we're working on. And you'll hear next week, like I said, that we've achieved a major milestone, something that is remarkable. At least from a technology perspective, it's remarkable. Yes, Faceddine, I also want to see us list on many exchanges at the same time because I think it gives us exposure, and that's what we're working on. Did we sell in any of our ETH? We're working with institutions to put in protections on our ETH. That's actively going on. Any other questions, guys? The percentage of market makers is still around. What do you mean, Joe? Could you elaborate on your question? I think among token holders, I think there is consensus that we should hold the listing of the Sparkster token. Abrar is asking about ByBox. So, we lost the ByBox vote because we played honestly, right? The community, I want to thank the community actually for all of their efforts to support Sparkster on ByBox, right? I also want to let you know, for those who don't know, that that's not the only opportunity that we have to have Sparkster listed on ByBox. I mean, there's at least a few more opportunities for us to vote on ByBox. So, there'll be another opportunity, and your BIX tokens will be refunded to you by ByBox. So, we will work to ensure that we do succeed with ByBox. How much time does it take for exchanges? Well, I heard from an exchange today, and I contacted an exchange today and asked them, where are we with the application? we applied to this exchange some time ago, maybe 2 months ago, and they told us that they're reviewing our application on Monday, that we're in queue, and we'll be reviewed on Monday. So it takes time for exchanges to review applications. Everybody, people that we haven't even heard of, right, come out of the woodwork trying to get listed. I think some of those people we even saw on ByBox, they're projects that some of us have never heard of before. So everybody's trying to get listed, and therefore there's exchanges are busy. They have a lot of applications to review. Can Sparkster be integrated with platforms like WanChain? I'd love to integrate with WanChain. If anyone knows anyone at WanChain and we can foster a relationship or a partnership with them, we'd love to perform an integration with WanChain. JM, you can reach out to Niru at NiruP and we can look into that for you. Why is the bounty program still ongoing? Because there's potentially value in promoting Sparkster to people that don't know about Sparkster while we're in this process of not having listed yet. But I'm going to be looking at the data to see if it still makes sense, and I'll let you know about that. The big picture, we're not looking at his question is after he thinks the price of BTC is going to go down. We're not looking at this from a speculative perspective, or where's the price of this going, or where's the price of that going. I can't predict the future any more than anyone else can, right? We're looking at this from the perspective of when projects list, does the market support the listing price, or do the token holders lose money? And the thing that we're primarily looking for is that token holders don't lose money, right? That's what we do not want. So when we can see that, the majority of projects when they list don't lose money, right? That's when it's time for us to list. Is the survival of crypto dependent on ETFs? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The survival of this industry is dependent on use cases that make practical difference to people's lives. When people are using blockchain technology or crypto to solve problems in the real world, when it solves real problems for real people in the real world, that's what this industry is dependent upon, and what Sparkster is all about. Disrupting the crypto community. The cloud computing industry. That's making a real difference to real people in the real world. You may ask how, and I'll tell you how. There's a lot of costs that cloud computing providers have to pay, right? They pay for servers, they pay for cooling, they pay for diesel generators, UPS backup power. They pay for a lot of things, right? In a decentralized environment or a decentralized world, that's not the case, right? Similarly, Uber doesn't pay for cars and doesn't pay for taxis, right? And so, if you compare a company that has to pay all of those fees to a decentralized environment where software can be executed on your own desktop computers, maybe when you're at work or when you're sleeping, right? Because all of those costs don't exist, we can deliver a service that's significantly cheaper than what traditional cloud computing could ever offer. And that's why Sparkster has a future. Joe's asking for a deadline on listing. I can't predict the future. If I give you a deadline and the industry doesn't turn around by that point, then that would be, and then we have to list because of this deadline, right? Then we end up achieving the thing that we don't want to, which is hurting people. So, I'm here every week. It doesn't matter what people say it doesn't matter what people say in Menti or what anyone's opinion is. I'm here I show up every week with my face on camera, right? Because we're here building the future and we believe in what we're doing. Do I think it's a good time for us to engage YouTubers? Absolutely. We're working on that. We've got interviews lined up with YouTubers, so that's being worked on. I don't know when things are going to turn around, but I hope it's soon, right? For everybody's sake. I don't want to hold on to people's tokens. Trust me, looking at the comments in Menti, we'd be far better off if we could release them without risking the people who believe in our project, right? I'd release instantly if that was the case. I have no desire or benefit from holding on to tokens at all. So I want to release as quickly as we find stability, right? Yeah, roadshows is something that we've got planned. We should talk about Ian, actually. So, I said something in the last AMA which may have been misinterpreted, right? We have not paid Ian anything. When I suggested that Ian was an advisor, I meant in the sense of the word that he provides us with information or his thoughts on things. He provides us with advice, and he also introduces us to people and relationships that make meaningful sense for us as a company, and also for you as a community. But that doesn't mean that we've paid Ian. We haven't paid Ian a cent. And from that sense of the word, Ian is not an advisor in the way that where we pay for his advice. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to add new bounties. So if you guys have ideas on new bounties, I'm all ears. Let's do that. I'm with you, Nikita. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, guys. Hopefully, let's leave it there, right? Hopefully, we can come together and we're all on the same page here, right? We are in this together and we're here to build a better future, build a better world with our technology. If you're a token holder and you have any doubts or you're not sure about what we're doing, please read the white paper, watch our videos, especially the white paper videos that are on the website, right? I encourage you to bring forth questions, technical questions, or questions about where we're going or about our future roadmap or whatever it might be, right? That's what we need to be focused on. There's nothing we can do about the market, right? If we unlock now, everyone loses. So rather than that reality, right, let's focus on what we can focus on, which is how do we use crypto and how do we use blockchain technology to bring about a better world, right? And specifically, why are we going to do that, right? Like, why are we going to lead to mainstream adoption? If you have any questions about that, watch the first video, the first Tech Talk, the first Tech Tuesday. So we will have a Tech Talk on Tuesday. I'll announce the topic of that soon. But there's an article coming out on Monday with a major announcement of an achievement that we've had this week with our technology. So please do read that. All right, guys. Thank you everyone for your time. I'll see you back in the Telegram group. Talk to you soon.